Listen, I'm here to tell you that I know your pain and I feel, what I'm feeling right now. That's why you maybe have clicked on this video, which is you have seen so many bulk tips, right? That you might or might not have implemented in your life. So first of all, that's your problem. Maybe you judge by only, seeing, whatever the person is telling without actually implementing it in your life. I mean, that's the first point that you might not have gotten results. And the second point is that even if you have implemented, you feel that you're feeling, too much sluggish, right? I mean, bulking in general is supposed to be like you're eating food too much all the time. You're getting fat, you're getting sluggish, and your lifts are going up, but that's the only 2 hours of bliss that you're getting in your entire life, right? Or your entire day. These are all the problems that you might have faced, and I'm going to solve all of this in this video. I'm going to give you like the proper blueprint when it comes to how to gain muscle properly, how to bulk properly, whilst staying relatively lean, right? And also gaining a healthy body fat percentage. If you haven't seen my video on body fat percentage, make sure you see it, because it's going to kind of correlate to that video a little bit. And I'm going to talk about like body fat percentages in general. So here's the thing that need to know with bulking. If you're someone who is basically trying to bulk for your lifting career, when it comes to competing, all of that stuff, right? Like lifting is all you live and breathe, right? You want to compete, all of that stuff. This video is not for you. This video is for someone, an actual student who is working a full-time job, who wants to start a business, all of that stuff. So I'm going to basically tell you how to not get the brain fog, how to not eat like a retard, how to not gobble up food, how to see food for what it is, which is fuel, and basically bulk up like a lean bulk, and also gaining a healthy body fat percentage so that your testosterone level is also high and you don't feel lethargic, you don't feel exhausted all the time, right? So here's the proper way to bulk. This is a really generic disclaimer that everyone says, which, and I'm really surprised because some of the fitness influencers really preach this thing that I'm going to tell you not to do it, which is dirty bulking. There's a whole notion, or like what should I say? Like there's a saying in the fitness industry that is, if it fits in your macros, right, you can eat whatever the fuck you want, and that's the biggest piece of bullshit that I've heard, right? The reason is it's not only the calories that you're getting from foods, it's about what kind of calories you're getting from what kind of foods, right? And listen, I'm gonna make a vague statement, right? I'm gonna make an extremely vague statement, then I'm going to explain by adding a little bit details into that vague statement so that you guys have a better understanding of it. So here's the statement. Calories is primarily what you need to grow. This is a really vague statement, right? Calories is what you primarily need to grow, right? But here's the thing. It all comes down to what food sources are you choosing to get those calories from? Are you choosing burgers and pizzas, or are you choosing vegetables and meats and rice and all of that stuff? Here's the thing. If you dirty bulk, sure, you will grow, right? But most of it is going to be fat, a little bit of muscle. And the problem with that is, if you're eating too much carbs, if you're eating too much saturated fats, if you're eating too much unsaturated fats, all of that stuff, if you're eating too much bad cholesterol, all of that stuff, you will start to get brain fog, right? Your cognitive function will decline. You will not be able to focus on your studies. You'll not be able to focus on your, business, or, like a job, like a daily cognitive, like in general, like, intelligence will go down. You will become a retard. Like lifting is all you could think of, right? That's not what you want. What you want is basically to gain muscle as fast as possible, also while staying lean, also being smart and intelligent, right? I mean, you don't want to be dedicating your entire life to basically eating foods, because eating foods is a full-time job. I mean, think about it. If you're bulking and you're eating maybe 5-6 meals a day, right, your body has this constant job of digesting foods the entire day, right? All your body is doing is basically digesting foods, right? How it's going to have time to basically invest some of that energy to other important tasks? Maybe completing your homework, maybe work on your business, maybe work on the job that you are basically, I'm supposed to work on, right? So these are all the things that you need to keep an account of, whilst not only focusing on just food, right? I'm going to get the nitty-gritty details of it into, just a little bit in this video, like a little bit later in this video. But this is just a disclaimer to give you guys an actual understanding of what you should be targeting for. You shouldn't be optimizing for only muscle growth, right? Because that's not the only thing you want. You also want to be smart. You also want to have this cognitive function properly, like a peak human, should perform. And yeah, that's about it. So now let's get into the details of it. Here's the thing. If you haven't seen my body fat percentage video, basically just to summarize, 15 to 20%, or maybe 15 to 17%, or 10 to 17% is what a healthy body fat percentage looks like for most of you guys, right? Try to include good fats in your diet, right? Point number one is going to increase your body fat percentage to a healthy level because it has good cholesterol and good fats. Eggs, meats, good dairy products such as milk, cheese, ghee, butter, all of that stuff. If you eat these things, you will have good fat and good cholesterol, which is going to increase a little bit of your body fat percentage, but not so much that you become fat, right? Because it also has other things such as protein and all the micronutrients you would need. So get into a healthy body fat percentage and then bulk from there. I mean, try to maintain that healthy body fat percentage the entire time you're thinking about bulking or you're bulking, right? Here's the thing. If you gain too much muscle too much fast in your bulking, maybe session, maybe you're bulking for 6 months, right? If you gain too much if you're getting too much muscle, too fast, you will not gain muscle for the rest of your bulking, journey. What you will gain is fat, right? And it is scientifically proven that if you gain too much muscle too fast in your bulking session, you will not gain muscle at the end of your bulking session. You will gain only fat. Here's the thing. You need to have a good diet where it comprises of good protein, a little bit of carbs, and a good amount of good fats, right? So meats, egg, chicken, red meat, things when it comprises of the, carnivore side of your diet. And when it comes to good fats, ghee, butter. The reason I say your diet should include a little bit of carbs and a decent amount of fats is because fats is the number one source of your energy. You're not going to burn carbohydrates. You are going to burn fat to basically get energy from it. That's why most guys supplement L-carnitine. L-carnitine, what it basically does, it burns fat to give you energy in the gym, right? So that's all I needed to say. In order for you to bulk, optimize for the bigger picture. Don't optimize only for getting muscle, because I'm pretty sure if you're someone with double-digit IQ, you will choose the latter option, which is basically choosing the bigger picture, which is not only those 2 hours of bliss in the gym, those 2 hours of good time that you have in the gym. No, like not only that plus a good time throughout the entire day. That's why you should only focus on foods where it comes from clean sources. Try to, watch my video that I made on foods, because I'm not going to repeat the same thing. This is basically an extension of that video. If you just watch that video that I made on food, like, foods that you need to eat in order for you to build as fast as possible, like muscle as fast as possible, that's basically like a bulking guide while staying lean, right? And yeah, that's about it. Like, I hope this helps. And this video is basically kind of like a disclaimer to what are you optimizing for, and what all of the other fitness influencers are preaching is really utter bullshit. Watch this video in its entirety, understand it. If you don't understand it, please make sure to comment. I'm going to reach out to you as soon as possible with any questions you might have. And yeah, that's about it. Peace.